Thank you for staying with us. You're watching Relentless Budget coverage live on ET Now, Vikas Ka Budget, and this indeed is Vikas Ka Budget. Even though stock market reaction may not be a large one, but it is the stability which they are really voting for and which they are really counting for. Now, it gives me great pleasure to bring on board my CEO, or the CEO of Times Network, Mr. M.K. Anand. And when you are sharing the dais with your boss and with your CEO, you tend to get nervous, but you also tend to get excited. So I'm excited and nervous both. And today, sir, we are speaking to you in a capacity of an observer, someone who tracks the nuances of the economy. Budgets have come and gone, and you've tracked more than 25 budgets closely?
More than that.
This is the 26th. Okay. In the 26th budget, how would you define this budget?
So I think before I get on to the budget, I want to congratulate you, Nikunj, and your entire team. I have been getting a great amount of feedback because how it is budget day, friends, relatives, everybody, because we work for Times Network, ET Now. I think it's been a great job since morning. You guys are doing a relentless, fantastic coverage, all the channels, and specifically ET Now and your presence. Now getting to the budget, I think the most delightful thing, I would say, it's a different thing that I saw, I felt, was that, one felt that the vote on account usually is taken as a sort of a platform by governments to come up with something populist, something, something to sort of make noise about, because, you have a looming important Lok Sabha election coming up. The sheer absence of any such, populist announcement is a clear indication of the confidence that this the ruling party and the ruling alliance has in the work that it has done in the last 2 terms. Specifically, I would say in the last 3 or 4 years during the pandemic and post-pandemic, when we've been able to keep India right on top. People say we are the best performing large economy, like a categorization, and then I don't think we should sort of have any such categorization. I think India is the, I would say in our words, the Kamau Put of the world going forward. India is the region which is going to actually lead the world in overall growth. It is the region that's going to provide impetus and opportunities to companies, to people, to investors, and to value generation on a global scale at large over the next, I would say 15 to 20 years. It's going to run away and lead. And over the next 5 years, I think we are there. And it is from, I would say, the moment the pandemic closed, I think, with great disaster comes great opportunity. This is the best example we've had. We handled pandemic fantastically, and the post-pandemic performance of the economy and the overall way that we have sort of, and that's, I think, very evident in the way the finance minister did a very no-nonsense, I think 60-minute conversation, 60-minute announcement, as if it's just, it's just a company budget performance that we do, no rara, no great, this one, and it's and look at the great things that have come out of it. The fiscal deficit, we were all expecting it to come down to 5.9 and 5.5 next year as an expectation. I mean, from 6.3, 6.4 before budget. 6.4.
Post-budget, they had to bloat it up.
And that has come down to 5.8. It's almost a 10 percentage point drop on the fiscal deficit. I think it's commendable. And the way she's indicated a 5.1 number, and we hope they, she overperforms the next year, overperforms whoever comes in as the finance minister. I think that means that we are going to pre-pandemic levels so fast, so soon, in spite of so much of additional expenses and support that the government has had to do to keep 1.4 billion people at peace and without really sort of the stability. We've been able to come. I think we can quite easily visualize the next year to go to pre-pandemic levels in terms of fiscal deficit. Fantastic work.
And if fiscal deficit comes down, the broader message is that you feel good about the economy, you feel good about interest rates, you feel good about purchasing power.
Yes. I think, the interest rates has in the last 2 or 3, 4 years, I mean, I'm talking to you as an individual consumer, housing loan, car loans, etc., have gone up by about 3 odd percentage points in the last 4 odd years. And it's a global phenomenon. India has not been an exception. I think in the last 6 months or so, we've been stable. So this gives us a clear and idea as a consumer, as an individual, that we're not expecting expecting these rates, personal loans, car loans, consumer loans, etc., to rise further. It probably will stabilize there, and I am an optimist. I expect that over the next 2 years maybe, we can even see it coming down by maybe 2 percentage points, which is then going to be even better for industries such as auto and real estate, which are the two very important drivers of the industrial side of the manufacturing, industrial and labor side of our economy. So I think all in all, it's a great place to be.
So if somebody uses word अच्छे दिन नहीं अच्छी रात और बहुत अच्छे दिन आने वाले हैं, it would be a fair assumption for India?
I am a votary for India. I'm a very ardent voter for the rise of India, and that is why Nikunj, even I think about 5 years back, we have said that India is rising. Foreign investors are rising with India. Institutional investors are rising with India. But we think that the Indians are not really rising with India to the extent that they could, because Indians have traditionally been in property, gold, and savings banks, and money has not really gone into where the real performance is. I'm not saying stock market is the be all and end all of the economy, but stock market does sort of tend to be an indicator. And as we were discussing, you have a market cap to GDP of around 1.2 to 1.25 times. The present Indian GDP nearing almost $3.7 odd trillion. We are at about $4.5 to $5 trillion market cap, 4.5 million trillion, 4.5 trillion market cap. I tell this to anybody who cares to listen. I think the next 7 to 10 years, don't put your money anywhere else, just put it in the Indian stock market.
So, so can I say that at ET Now, we firmly feel that if you want to rise, stay with ET Now, because India will rise, and the best way to do that is perhaps channelize your hard-earned money into financial savings.
Yes. See, I mean, ET Now, again, I'm sorry, I'm sort of talking about my product, your product. We have only one interest. We have the interest of our viewer mainly at heart. We don't indulge in at a corporate level investments, and we are not a corporation or a conglomerate from that point of view like certain other companies are, and we are a truly India-bred business media brand. Economic Times earlier, and then ET Now. I think you cut our veins, and you will bleed. We bleed India, and therefore I think we have two advantages: one being homegrown, two being having no other agenda. Our advice on investments is probably a lot more I would call it. I mean, again, I'm my own brand ambassadors here. So I think that has been our competitive advantage, and your presence and your team's presence. I mean, I'm sure people have followed us and sort of benefited from it. So I think next 7 to 10 years, you should be with India, and for that, it's a great place to sort of. ET Now is one of the good brands to sort of follow.
And this was your whole idea, rise with India.
Rise with India.
You coined it. So I think that's the message for our viewers. Stay with India, believe with ET Now, because we have a promise to you for the most unbiased, the fastest, and for the most high impact budget. Thank you so very much for joining us, and thank you for sharing your thoughts as to what the budget 2024 are. Vikas ka budget, that's what we are calling it. But now, after this conversation, you would say rise with India, but stay with ET Now.